It's not that bad, but it's...
Would you rather be sitting on those freaking wooden chairs downstairs that breaks because of our fat asses?
My fat ass.
Hey, I sat on one the other day and it about went down.
Yeah, you did.
Welcome back to the PTOUnlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 78.
And that's how many gifts were given in the 12 days of Christmas.
Cool.
Yeah, 78 gifts.
Not too far from
my
Christmas.
God, that went right over my head. No, you said I didn't hear gifts like gifts.
You heard gifts like GIFs.
Yeah. I was like, how many gifts were given?
Wow.
Like that. My brain is actually in like the 21st century.
So, do you think if someone remade that song, they would be giving away special gifts? Haha.
No, because they never actually say the word gifts in the song.
My true love gave to me. Okay. You're
yeah,
right.
They don't say gifts.
Shit. Well, we can make it happen.
We can make that song into gifts.
We're not going anywhere with this. I'm not gonna say what the number is anymore because it always derails immediately.
No, it's fun.
I'm gonna say this though to move on.
Yeah.
Fuck this week.
You know what I have to say about this week?
What?
Yes, that exactly.
I love how you recorded that last week, and I was like waiting for the perfect time to use it.
The way I record audio clips is not perfect, and I
probably could have found you a better file.
Maybe, but I don't know.
You don't give a shit.
By pure accident that it ended up being.
Dude, that was a perfect recording. Dude.
It was.
Like right after you just did it, and you're like, I couldn't have done it any better.
What the fuck?
But the best thing about it was when you were doing that last week, you didn't have your mic on the first time.
Right.
You played it, and you're like, well, it'd help if I had my mic on.
Yep, so it just worked out perfectly.
Yeah. So anything happen over the weekend?
For us?
Well, in general.
Well, before the weekend.
Okay, let's start. Let's start on last Wednesday night.
I was off Thursday.
Yeah.
And I spent the entire day trying to get the video that I recorded with my phone off of my phone.
I feel so bad.
It's something to get it to you.
Mm-hmm. And
I bought $100 worth of stuff, and now I'm going to take back.
Oh, you haven't done it yet?
I haven't done it yet because I have just been work. And it was such a pain in the ass.
I'll tell you what, I barely got the video out. Just barely. Like Sunday night, I was working on it, and Alex was just like, "You better stop working on this video." I was like, "No, it has to go out. The people want it."
You were also sick.
I was also sick, yeah, and we'll get into that too. But man, Saturday was when you got it to me, right?
Saturday after work. Yeah.
Yep. Right after that, and we did it in one transfer, and it was like, damn, why didn't we do that the first time? There's many different processes to get videos off of devices, but man, it was a big one. And
I think mainly it's because my personal laptop is 5 years old, and it's just since we're self-funded, we got to use our own equipment, and it just wasn't. It doesn't always work out too well.
Yeah, so if you're watching, listening, all of this is from our own money. We put our budget into this.
Yeah, and you know what? Some people would be like, oh, I can go out and buy that stuff anytime.
Well, they would, or they would sound like they're talking in a bathroom.
That's true.
No, we put some work into our stuff.
Yes, we do. So
nobody pays us, though.
So my weekend was working on the podcast and Destiny. Yeah, but we'll talk about that on Playing and Watching. So
I really the weekend went by so fast for me that I cannot put together last Wednesday to today.
Yeah.
The week just flew. It feels like we were just recording.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
We can start with right after we finished recording last week, we found out Hugh Hefner died.
Yeah. 91. I had no idea he was that old.
I did, yeah.
I figured
I knew he was old,
but I didn't know he was that old.
He's old.
So, Hugh Hefner died really right after we were done recording last week.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep really. Like I didn't get to sleep that night very early.
Very
so
well and stuff.
I was up till like 2:00 in the morning, and I was just like, I was flipping through Facebook, and all of a sudden I saw a post from a radio station that I follow, and it said something about they had made it was like I saw some memes going around about Hugh Hefner, and I just flipped right through and just didn't think of anything, and then I saw the post and it said something Hugh Hefner died 91. I'm like, what? So I clicked on it, and it was like 2:00 in the morning, and the post was like at 11:45 at night. I'm like, wow. So, but the meme that I found that was very, like, I found it kind of comical was, and I think it's pretty popular too, is it said we can't say, well, at least he's in a better place.
Yeah.
Like everyone's joking because, he's 91. He lives in a mansion full of half-naked women 24/7.
It's the dream.
And he died of natural causes. Like, he died an old man.
He just died an old man. I mean, that's the way I want to go. It's just an old person, Nothing else. No bad causes. I mean...
He just died of old age.
Yeah.
How old were you when you saw your first Playboy?
Oh, God.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not talking about this.
Let's do this.
No.
Why not? It's legit, because every guy knows the first time he saw a Playboy.
I was a teenager. I was 13.
I think I was 12.
Yeah. And it wasn't on purpose. I mean, it was kind of like, you ever heard of forest porn?
No.
It's stuff that you just find out in the woods.
Oh. I never knew it had a name.
Well, I listened to another podcast and they called it that. And so, like...
I get it, though. Like, I get what forest porn is.
Yeah, it's just... You just find it. It's not something... You're not looking for it and you're like, oh,
like,
what's
you just,
this?
like, you move a log and you're like, what's this? Someone buried their porn.
It's like, or they just pass it along,
To the next person.
Yeah.
That's how I found my first porn.
It was forest.
Well,
Do you want to say how old you were?
I was young.
Yeah.
Super young. Way too young.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
No, honestly, it wasn't...
it wasn't on purpose either.
It wasn't on purpose. And sadly, it wasn't... I wouldn't consider it forest porn. It's out of the house porn. It was actually what I call sandbox porn.
that sounds like a genre,
Forest porn sounds like a genre. No, I found it in the sandbox.
Yeah.
Like, I was digging a hole, and it was really deep. Like, I could sit in it, and I dug it to the bottom of the sandbox, and...
There it was.
There it was.
Wow.
How old were you?
Young. I don't know. I can't put an age on it.
That means that's pretty
younger
young.
than 12 or 13.
What'd you do with it?
I don't really remember. I think I blocked it out. I just remember going... I shouldn't be looking at this.
Where did you find yours?
I think I buried it back where it was.
I think I went to a friend's house and his dad had a bunch.
It's always the dad's sock drawer or something. No.
I think he had them in the basement.
Oh, yeah?
Remember right.
Gosh. That's just so weird when people find those kinds of things. Hey, audience, how about you guys comment in on this? When was your first Playboy?
Plus, you got to think, that was around the time really before, right around, internet porn wasn't what it is now.
Yeah, right?
Internet porn did not exist at 12 and 13.
Well, I think it might have.
Well,
yeah,
actually,
that's
no.
the year
Our age,
2000.
yeah, our age, yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
probably really hard to get.
It took a long time, too, yeah. And the download speeds. But, yeah, like, Hugh Hefner started a just...
kind of a sexual revolution in
Revolution, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was last year when they declared they weren't going to put naked women in their except for Brazil. I remember hearing that Brazil or South America's Playboys were still going that route.
Like they were stopping Playboy is what you were saying?
No, they were stopping the naked women in Playboys.
They weren't doing centerfolds anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was they wanted it to become a classy magazine because I think they were losing business due to the internet.
It's probably because of the internet.
Yes. People don't pay for that stuff anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you type the wrong, misspell a word into Google and you've got porn on your phone. Like, that's how easy it is.
Rule 34, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what Rule 34 is?
No.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to the internet, Brett. Rule 34.
If it exists, it's porn.
Yep.
Okay.
So
if you think of anything, it's most likely there's porn of it.
Oh, okay.
And I've
she's tested this.
I've tested it. We tested it recently in Colorado, and I'm not discussing it. That's all. If Jared's listening, he knows.
Yeah. We had
it's just one of those drunk nights that.
Let's just say we were sitting on the floor.
Stop. Just stop. We're not talking about it. It's horrible.
You know, it's kind of weird that we did that. I'm making everyone uncomfortable now.
We're done. We're absolutely done. No, so the other thing, there was something else I want to talk about here. Okay, so he's actually, I believe he's being cremated, and he had already
Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, he picked out a spot, like his gravesite is right next to Marilyn Monroe.
I think she was his
first, but they never actually met.
What?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Well,
that's
now
crazy.
They get to stay together for eternity in the ground.
What was that reality show they did?
Who, Playboy?
Yeah.
They've done a lot.
Like, there was one that, was it just the Playboy Mansion or something?
There was some, back when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it was just kind of like they toured around the mansion, and yeah, I remember that.
Oh, you're talking about the Girls Next Door?
Girls Next Door. That's what it was. Yeah,
yeah,
that's right around the time that Weezer brought out that music video with Playboy bunnies.
That's when he was dating the three
blondes.
The three blondes.
Yeah.
Kendra Wilkinson, I remember her because she's...
Wasn't she the one that left? There was one that left and got
they all
married.
Did. Yeah. She married an ex-Philadelphia Eagle player.
Okay.
Hank Baskett.
And then, did you ever see the movie House Bunny?
No.
With Anna Faris? Yes, you did.
I did?
Yeah, that's the Idaho.
Oh, okay. That's right. That was actually kind of funny.
It's a story about a Playboy bunny, a girl who gets kicked out of the house, and she goes to a sorority.
Sorority.
And it's a low-grade sorority, lowest of the low kind of person.
Like the geeky
girls. Ones. I don't want to say low.
She tries to
she tries to spice
them up a little bit. I don't know. It's a one-time watch.
I think it's a National Lampoon's.
Maybe.
It sounds like
I didn't think it was. It's not great, but there's some laughs.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Next we have Tom Petty.
Yeah, we got a rock star.
60.
He was 66.
6.
Yeah.
And personally,
and that was actually just yesterday.
Yeah, personally,
today's the 4th.
God damn it, Alex! I'm trying to talk.
Wait, hold on.
It's the 4th.
Okay, it was actually 2 days ago that he died.
Personally, I didn't have a connection to him.
Me neither.
I knew Free Fallin', and there's probably a couple other songs. Alex was listing.
Wasn't Learning to Fly? Was that him?
Yes, I believe so.
Alex was listing all these songs, and I was just like, okay, yeah, that's him, but it wasn't my generation.
Well, it's probably all right. So your mom and dad and my mom and dad, it was their generation.
I get it, yeah.
And I know your mom and dad were into like that kind of music just from the music I hear your dad sing. Mm-hmm. Your mom also had posted about it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, on Facebook.
I stay off of social media.
Well, okay,
I'm not a very busy person.
Anyways, so I'm growing up. I have this picture of me in one of my baby books that my mom made for me a long time ago that she gave to me. There's a picture of me, and I'm probably only a year and a half old, and I'm like sucking down a bottle, and I'm taking a nap, and then Tom Petty's Full Moon Fever CD is laying next to my head, and I remember picking that out when I'd have to take a nap because they play music or whatever, and I picked it out because of Free Fallin' and because the album was a rainbow. Like it was like rainbow colored, but there's like that, like that's
the connection you had.
So my dad the other day when I wasn't home came over and he actually still had that exact CD and dropped it off in my mailbox, and now it's up on my mantle. So I mean, was I extremely into Tom Petty? Not exactly, but I knew who he was. I appreciated his music and him being a rock star, and knowing that my parents were like, and they were really into him. I mean, they grew up, and their favorite bands to kind of go along with it was like Mellencamp and Bruce Springsteen, and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers kind of fit right into that.
Sure.
So that's the music I grew up on. So it's kind of like that CD came out in 1989, which is when I was born. It was like 3 months after I was born is when that CD came out.
Yep.
And that CD is the one that has all of the his big hits, which is Free Fallin' and I Won't Back Down, which a lot of people know that one too.
Did he do Running Down a Dream?
I'd have to look it up. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I know like 3 big songs. That's really, but if I heard them, I'd probably.
A lot of people screaming at me for me thinking that it is him. If it's
my dad's probably yelling at it. But I know that
I got it. I got Spotify right here. I can look at his top 5.
I know that. I don't think my mom and dad actually got to see him though. I think it was more of a bucket list And
really?
I don't think that they actually got, with how many concerts they went to when they were younger. I don't believe Tom Petty. I don't think they got to see him.
All right. So I'm looking Free Fallin', You Don't Know How It Feels, Wildflowers, I Won't Back Down, and Running Down a Dream.
There we go.
Yeah, look at that.
Right.
That's his top 5 on Spotify.
5.
Not necessarily those are his top 5 in general. That's just the top 5 played on there.
Running Down a Dream, I think, was on the Grand Theft Auto 4 soundtrack for the Lost and the Damned expansion. So I always remember that from playing that.
Right on.
As far as what I heard on the radio, it was on, I think it was on Monday. I was coming home from work, and it was Monday or Tuesday. I was coming home from work, and I heard it on the radio that said, they got on the radio and said, just let you guys know, everything that we know is Tom Petty was found at cardiac arrest, and I believe they defibbed him or something. They were actually able to get a heartbeat back. Mm-hmm. But once they had him into the hospital and everything, I think they realized he was brain dead. He was put on life support, but then they quickly took him off. So his cause of death was, all I could find is that he was in cardiac arrest.
Wow.
So
that's sad.
Yeah, at 66, apparently he just, last week, he had just finished his something anniversary tour. He was touring. Yeah. And he had just finished it.
Do you guys want to get through the worst parts and then
move from there?
I think we might as well just get it over with.
Talk about Vegas.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do here, a lot of people know about this, and it's more of I think we should talk about it because it's history, not to glorify anybody, obviously, but there was a mass shooting that happened October 2nd, so 2 days ago, in Vegas. Which hotel was it?
I don't remember.
I'd have to look up what the hotel it was, but it was at a country fest, a concert at night, and I think it was somebody from the 30-something floor shot that the concert was outside, and he broke a window and shot a bunch of people. And the last time I saw it was 58 total dead and over 500 people injured. And the shooting, the actual shooting itself, you always hear shootings went on for a few seconds or for a couple minutes. There's people coming out and saying that there's footage and Snapchats and stuff for 5 to 10 minutes of constant shooting. There was the other thing too is I saw there was 42 guns or something in this guy's hotel room. He did shoot himself. I'm not saying who it is. I've waved myself away from even looking at the guy and knowing his name because I think that's just horrible.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really want to talk about this just because everybody's seen it. If they've gone on Facebook for a minute, they've seen something about it. And I don't like it because it always turns political. And it has.
It does. It's turned the whole gun control thing is the big thing I'm seeing. All I'm doing is I just flip right through it because I'm this is stupid. You're taking focus off of people that are dying because of such a tragic event to turn it into something political, which is absolutely bullshit.
Yeah, I totally agree. And how many did they say? 52?
What, dead?
Yeah.
The one that the latest I saw was 58.
58. Okay.
I mean, it could be more now because there was over 500 that went to the hospital.
That's crazy. And Alyx showed me a photo. I'm not going to show this on YouTube or anything. She showed me a photo of the ER.
Somebody had snapped a picture of the ER.
I heard
just
that
the floor.
There were some really graphic pictures that made its way to social media.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
and that's the other thing, too.
This pisses me off.
It's so weird that people will sit there and stand by and take these, almost looks like professional pictures. I bet you there was people there to take professional pictures of, the concert.
That's probably what they were.
But to, stand back and take pictures of people laying over people crying, or covering them for protection, that is just...
It adds to the drama.
It adds to the drama. It's a moment you need to capture, but how about going and helping those people?
Yeah, if you're a photographer...
It's your profession. You sell those photos. It's a thing.
Especially when they put them out online.
This angers the hell out of me. This is the second...
That's why we don't need to talk about it.
Second concert in a year. It's
yeah, because we had the Ariana Grande one.
My arm itches.
Yeah? Do you need some lotion or something?
No, I'm okay.
But what
I can give you something smooth and creamy.
What goes into that? Oh my God, guys! We're trying to be serious here.
I know. I'm trying to lighten the mood,
anyway,
Alyx.
so what a lot of people say, and that Josh and I got into the conversation of that we hashtagged. Or what we call we save it for the podcast.
Hashtag save it for the podcast.
So there is a viral hashtag going around right now called hashtag thoughts and prayers.
Yep.
And it's not just about the hashtag, it's about the meaning. So Josh always says, I hate people that post thoughts and prayers. And I'm like, well, why? Is the conversation is kind of the conversation.
It's not helping. It's not helping me. Like, I understand people were saying that when I was in the hospital, and I get that. But, I mean, it's like, it feels...
Like, it bugs you.
It feels pressed.
Well, I would say that it's kind of like an empty saying.
It's like, become that way.
You
it
say
really
it
has.
because you think you should.
And I think it's because it's honestly, I think Thoughts and Prayers has lost its impact because of the internet.
Unless people who say it really are praying for you.
Yeah. So
and we don't know.
And what I told Josh is, yes, you kind of get, it seems like something that people like, it's just something you say, right. Or it's something that you get tired of seeing. Well, you know, in that kind of a situation, I can see, while I'd say, you know, my thoughts and prayers, and some people are like, people say that all the time. Well, I can't do anything. So I'm, at least with saying thoughts and prayers, my argument of doing that and saying it with my side is saying I'm recognizing this is going on. I know I can't do anything about it, but I'm at least saying, hey, I'm thinking of you in this difficult time, is what thoughts and prayers means. I get it. So it's not something to be taken like, man, well, everybody says that. Well, it's because there's nothing else to say. Like, it's just that shocking, and it's, hey, this is, at least I'm thinking of you. This is really bad, and this sucks.
It's kind of like the my condolences or best or get well soon kind of stuff, all mixed into a thing, you know.
I know, but it's the same thing you hear all the time. But I think the internet has a lot to do with that, because you just see it all the time. Versus like back in the day in the 90s, you would get a card, and you'd get a card that say, you know, my thoughts and prayers are with you guys, and you go, oh, that was very heartfelt. Well, now you're seeing it every single day, especially with this, all the time, and you're just like, everybody's saying the same damn thing.
I get it.
But that's at least showing, hey, you know what, if I say it, that means you're in my thoughts, I'm thinking of you, and it's a hard time, and I'm sorry.
Yep.
But that's the argument, is people were arguing like, why is everybody having to say this is really stupid.
I mean, as much as this makes me sound like an asshole, I don't say it because I think it is
demeaning,
empty.
Okay, I think it's lost its impact, just like Alyx was saying.
Yes.
And all three of us are on the same page on this.
I don't,
and it sucks.
I don't not say it because I'm not thinking or praying. I just don't.
It's not
say
one that
because it's said everywhere.
It is.
And do people really mean it? Maybe they do. I'm sure a lot of them do. Yeah. But I would like whatever I do to actually mean it, and I'm not saying it just because I'm supposed to.
Right.
So I hope
if I can't think of anything else to if I can't think of anything else to say, I would hope that if I were to say that, people were to take it as, wow, Alyx cares, and she's recognizing that I'm going through a difficult time.
If you don't say it very often, and it's something that's only like said a few times, like if you know the person who's saying it, then it might mean something. And if you know that person directly, like for example, if it were one of my sisters, I think that they would be, because they're family, and I know what they do. So it's not a bad thing. You know, I don't know. It's
that's also I'm not saying that everybody who does say it doesn't mean it. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Right. It's just you don't know. You don't know if they're being legit, and
now,
you don't know.
If my mom said it to me, I know that she really is praying for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, you don't know if some stranger is, you know.
Right.
Okay, well, I think
still appreciate that stranger's wish of goodwill towards me.
There you go. So it's there, but it isn't.
Okay.
And why was it trending recently? Because people were thinking it wasn't legit.
Yeah, kind of. Like pretty much the argument that we were arguing.
I think it's just everyone wants to take a spin on something and flip it.
Everybody wants to cause drama.
Yes.
And I mentioned Kimmel because I watched a thing where he's talking about it, of course, because that's what he does. Jeez. And he basically said that I believe there was some politicians that turned down some gun control bill, and they said, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And he basically said, well, you didn't pass this gun control bill, so they really are meaningless, the fact that you're saying this, which I probably butchered that, and I'm sorry, but it's a very bold thing to say to some people, hey, just because you didn't, you know, you took this political stand, your wishes or thoughts or whatever don't mean anything.
Yeah, it's drama is what it is.
Well,
I try to stay away from that.
I'm going to say one thing, and then we got to get off this.
Okay.
The politicians that voted against it, they were probably sent letters from the people they're representing to vote against it.
Very possible.
That's the way most things work. Is they listen. Most people listen. I don't know. I hope so. But
and Jimmy Kimmel has not shied away from making his political agenda known on his own TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his own airtime.
Exactly, in several different instances, and I'm not saying you can't. It's his TV show. He can do whatever he wants.
Right.
So.
He's got the contract. He's getting paid. Whatever. That's
right.
It's kind of like all those other talk shows. I never watched Bill Maher. No. He upsets me. I don't know much about him. I don't watch his stuff because I've tried to, and it's not my thing. I
generally stay away from the mainstream media, especially the news outlets, because you just can't believe
you can't. No. Nobody trusts the news anymore.
The only person I watch that I refer to everyone is Philip DeFranco.
Philip DeFranco.
He's been there for us for the last 10 years now.
Oh, we haven't watched him for that long.
No, but he's been doing this from he started off probably 10 years ago out of his apartment doing this, and now he's this huge YouTuber guy that you and I have been following at least since 2000 and oh my god, it's been about 10 years.
I want to say 2012.
No, I'd say 8 or 9 is when we started watching
We were living
him.
in Chicago when we did.
8 or 9.
That was 9.
Okay, so that's about when we started watching him. So for 8 years now, we've been watching him.
Almost, yeah. I definitely think because do you ever watch Philip DeFranco?
Some the stuff he posts.
Yeah, he.
I mean, he's already
he gives his opinion.
Yes.
But he tells it as it is.
He also backs up everything he says with facts.
Exactly.
So, nothing.
Well, he also what he did with this Vegas thing is there is, of course, with something like this, a lot of fake news comes out for people trying to spin it around and whatnot. And he actually took those, got into it and said and made this PSA that said, hey, this is happening and this is what you should not be paying attention to. And those things were the things I saw being reposted on Facebook.
Yep.
And because you're going to read it and you're going to it's there to make you hate and post and repost and spread rumors that aren't true. And then what I did is I went shared his thing and I'm like, this is what you need to be. These are the facts and this is what you need to be doing with the facts.
Social media has become gossip. And Philip DeFranco keeps that kind of straight edge.
That's why I like watching him.
He does a good job.
He does.
He does a very good job.
There's not too many people out there like that, and he is funded by his fans and ads, of course. But go ahead.
Is he daily?
Yeah,
he's now weekly now.
He does Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday
now he just had a baby,
show.
so he's kind of he's doing covering one topic a day or a week or something right now because of his kid.
He's still doing his daily now. He's back.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, he does it. That's his job.
That's
what he does. Yeah.
He did create a company called SourceFed, but he disbanded that due to bad contracts and stuff. Yeah. From what I heard, I might be getting some of the facts wrong, but he created a company and they had a podcast and everything, and he was on Amazon, right? That was Amazon funded him for his podcast or something like that.
I don't remember what it was.
I think it was for Prime members.
I just know it was recently everything he got out of that.
He got out of that and
now he's more independent now.
Yep.
So nobody can control what he can say pretty much because that's why he does what he does and he says it all the time. And like he said with the Vegas video, he's like, I'm not putting ads in this because I want to be able to say whatever I want. And
YouTube can't monetize me and shut me down.
Yeah, and this is what it is. And this is what you need to know. And I don't feel like ads need to be on this kind of thing. I love the guy. He's awesome. He's the kind of guy I would hang out with.
Speaking of ads, I got a notification that I can get YouTube Red for 3 months. And I was like, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what it's like to click on a video and not get an advertisement. It's going to be weird. It's going to be really weird.
So do we want to get off this bad news stuff?
Yeah, I was trying to.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I had a closeout for it. What I was going to do is I was going to close out and say that thoughts and prayers are with everybody this week with the deaths, Hugh Hefner and Tom Petty, as well as everybody, families and friends and everybody affected from Vegas.
And we don't know them, so we can't list them
then
personally.
that's why I'm saying thoughts and prayers. I don't know them, but that's just this is saying,
with
hey, this was a very bad. These are very bad things. They're hard times to go through, and it's to say, hey, 3 random people that don't know you care.
Yeah. Yep.
That's simple as that.
So, PSAs.
No, I don't want to do that yet.
Okay. Damn it. I'm trying to do a thing. A what?
Doctor story.
Okay.
Oh, let's see the doctor
story.
Let's get out of this sadness.
Let's go into something where Josh is sick again.
Josh is sick again.
You can't tell because it happened on Friday, and then on Sunday is when I went in because I was feeling pretty under the weather, and I was like, I should get this. Alyx was actually the one. I'm not going into the ER with another heart attack again. We're kicking this in the ass now. Yep. So I've had a sore throat and it was looking kind of inflamed and stuff. So I went to the doctor, and when I think I have strep. I don't know. They did a
strep test, and
then they did
negative.
Another one.
They did a culture, which we haven't heard back from. So they're gonna.
They said they wouldn't contact me if it wasn't strep.
Yes.
And as I was on antibiotics, and tomorrow's my last dose, so
yeah. They said they would only contact you if the antibiotic you're on was the wrong one.
Right.
So
right.
You must be fine.
So yeah, while I was in the doctor's office, Alyx and I were sitting there, and it was in between the nurse and the doctor, like coming in and out. So they're like, all right, well, we'll be back in like 10 minutes for this culture and give you your results. So I'm sitting there on the table, whatever, what do they call
patient
that?
table.
The patient table, and Alyx is sitting on the chair, and all of a sudden I could hear a conversation going on next to our room, which was in the room next to us. I was like
the walls were really thin.
And I was playing a mobile game at the time, and that actually has something to do with it. I turned to Alyx, I was like, man, these walls are pretty thin. I can hear everything they're saying. They're asking about his height, if he smokes, and all this stuff. I was like, man, that's personal information. They got to build those doctor's offices a little thicker. And then I fucked up on my mobile game. And I was like, fuck!
Well, it was like him and I were just on our phones waiting for the test. And I was scrolling through my phone, and he was playing his dots game on his phone, and he just, fuck. I'm like, Josh! Like, these walls are thin, god damn it!
I was laughing so hard. I was like, they heard me. They had to have heard me.
Josh was like, he like dropped us. I was like, put his face up, and he's like, oh my god. And it was like minutes after he said, wow, these walls are really thin. Fuck.
Man.
And of course, like, we're trying not to do like we have the, oh my god, I did something I wasn't supposed to giggles. Like, we're like trying not to laugh, so we're laughing harder with trying not to laugh.
Yep.
Oh,
So
that's really funny.
it was pretty interesting. I don't know why I'm sick again. I think it's just every single time we go to flashbacks, I have to go to the doctor.
I think
because I don't see people.
I think you need your tonsils out.
Or that too.
Do you know how many people I've told is sick, and they asked what's wrong, and I told you, and they said, well, wow, he's almost 30 years old. Has he had his tonsils out? Like, that's the first question.
You don't have to have
Wait
them
a
out.
minute, is that the same thing as appendix?
No. Appendix is in your
appendix is like right
I thought
here.
so, but I haven't had either taken out.
Yeah.
I don't get sick.
You better knock on wood.
I don't have to. I never get sick.
Oh,
okay.
It's gonna be rough.
Let me rephrase that. I get sick about once a year.
Okay.
See, and that's the thing, though. Josh and I have known each other for 15 years, and we've been together for pretty much those 15 years. And in those 15 years, if I were to ever get a flu or something contagious, he would never get it. Never, ever get it. And until 2 years ago when he had his first heart issue, and then in between then and now, he has still like barely ever been in the hospital. This year in March, when the bad flu was going around that everybody was getting, like if you got the shot, you were fine. If you didn't, you were fucked. I got the shot. He didn't. He got super sick, like ran fever, was really nasty for a few days, like throwing up. So we went there. 2 months later is when we were in the hospital, or when we first went back to the walk-in clinic for our throats. We were sick for 6 weeks with that between the two of us, and then he had the heart attack, and now 2 months later again, he's sick again.
Yeah.
I've never gotten a flu shot.
I've
started to get them because they're free. And because you kind of have like a 50-50 shot whether or not it's going to work, and I would much rather not have the flu.
Yeah.
So it's a tiny little prick, and it doesn't hurt that much, and it affects me. Actually, it's not supposed to.
Makes you get a fever.
I get like a slight fever, and I get a little dizzy, and then for like a day, and then I'm fine. Most people it doesn't affect, but it affects me.
For a while, I thought it was all conspiracy there, and they're purposely infecting you, so you have to go buy medicine.
They're giving you a live virus to make you prevent.
So it's called.
Build your immune.
I know a little bit about it.
I get that.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're giving you a part, like a little bit of the virus. It's enough for your body to go, hey, something bad is there, and it makes your body
stronger.
So that's what the point of a vaccine is.
I get it.
Yeah.
So I think it's really stupid that people don't get vaccines.
Well, I don't get them.
Well, then you're stupid.
You should probably get.
You should at least get your tetanus.
Tetanus and
I did when I was young.
They last 10 years.
Yeah, I need one.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Josh
The
said that,
doctor
and
was
the doctor,
asking.
she's like, when's your last tetanus? And he's like, high school? Or like, yeah, you need your tetanus.
Yeah.
I'm due this year.
Yeah.
So, oh crap.
The year's almost over.
I hate it though. Actually, no, I'm due next year.
It hurts.
That's the one thing I hate though, is that the tetanus shot gives me a dead arm for like 2 days.
Are you afraid of needles?
Yes.
Me not. I'm not either.
Me
Alex,
not.
Me not. Alex, you're not afraid of needles.
I hate needles.
But you were able to go to BioLife just fine.
As long as I do this.
Well, still.
Like, if I look down once while it's happening, I feel lightheaded like I'm going to faint.
I have I don't watch it go in. And
When I was,
either,
I couldn't even watch my tattoo be done.
I know.
Like, every time I would look at the guy, I went and I took a couple pictures, but I would have to look at him through.
Stop scratching your fucking eye.
I've got like an eyelash in my eye.
Go take care of it.
No. Every time I would look at him and then I'd see a little bit of blood, I'd go, and I would like look up. Like, okay, I'm fine. I'm not going to look for another 5 minutes.
I didn't watch him do it either.
Dang.
Like, I can't.
I'm going to watch.
He was off to my side. I didn't have to. It wasn't like right in front of me like it was with you.
It was right in front of me. I had to do this the whole time.
Well, you were stretched.
I was. He had like my arm kind of twisted, so it was kind of uncomfortable. But.
Yeah.
Headlight.
Oh, are we done with this conversation?
What were we talking about again?
The doctor and being sick and then vaccines.
Yeah. I was
So Josh is on the mend.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I think I'll be okay.
Let's see here. Headlight. So headlight story. Well, you guys were both there
Not
for
really
it.
a story.
I'm proud of it. Okay, so I figured I would announce it. So my front, my driver's side headlight had got a bunch of fluid in it.
You got to fill that headlight fluid.
Yeah, headlight fluid. Got to change the headlight fluid. So it got a bunch of fluid in it, and it ruined the cords and everything. So I had to completely replace not just the bulbs, but the whole entire headlamp itself. So I ordered it off of Amazon, and it came in. And my uncle's a mechanic, and when I thought it was just the light needed to be changed at first, that's when I found out there was a bunch of water in it. He showed me how to take it out and put it back together, and he's like, you don't have to drive all the way out here to change it. You just need a socket wrench, or I think that's what it's called.
Yes.
And you could do it yourself. So I ordered it, and I went outside when I got home when you guys were both inside, and I changed it all by myself.
The other one looks stupid.
It does.
It's not that bad. The others, because the car is 10,
cloudy
11
with a
years
chance
old.
of meatballs over there.
Yes, the other headlamp is a little cloudy, but it doesn't have water in it. But yes, I did it all by myself. I took it all out, and when I was all done, I went upstairs and I looked at Josh and I was like, "Look, my hands look like my grandpa's and my uncle's hands. Like I looked like I had mechanic hands. I had all the oil and crap
Dirty,
from this all over. I actually kind of like taking the car apart and putting it back together."
Yeah, maybe you should just become a mechanic.
Well, the next thing I'm going to do, because I have a crack in my bumper, I was going to order the, the bumper, like the foam.
Finally.
I was going to order the foam and then the plastic, what is called a bumper cover.
How long have you known us having that car?
Since you got it?
Since we got it?
I said how long?
I don't know. How long have you had it?
10 years. 10 years.
So you must have got it right when... Yeah, because wasn't it the first car after your pickup?
Yes.
I remember the pickup, so...
Yeah.
The pickup's still around.
When we moved to South Dakota, we wrecked our front end of our car. And we're just now getting it repaired.
Was it snowy?
It was. I hit some black ice and spun into a ditch.
You ought to try repairing that rust on the driver door.
Nah.
That's minor. Like, I just got to get some... He said I just need some spray and some, like...
belt sander?
No. What it is there's like a little hole or something there, and I just need to pack it with something.
Uh-huh.
But I just have to clean it out. Anyways, the car is going to shit, and I'm just doing some cosmetic repairs to get it looking okay. We're probably gonna buy a car here in the next year and a half.
Hope so.
2 years, hopefully.
Yeah, it's getting
but I'm doing what I can to make it look presentable. But I found on Amazon, I've been quoted so much to get the front bumper fixed, and the reason why I haven't got it fixed because they're quoting me $800-900 to get it fixed. I'm like, well, it's not hurting the car, so I'm not getting it fixed. It's not immediate. So I found the parts by myself because I got the headlamp, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what other parts I could find. $100. I can fix it myself.
What you really need to do is have somebody like bash into you. So they're
there's been plenty of times where people come close. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, it's just like, please do it.
Please,
we have full
me.
coverage on this vehicle.
Please
All we
hit
have
me.
to do is pay $500 and we get a brand new car.
I know, but that's pretty much.
$500 over a like couple grand. Yeah, I think
I
it's
guess,
okay.
but still, that's more than $100. It's like $110. I can fix a whole bumper all by myself. And I watched YouTube's also a great thing. I watched you do it yourself or whatever. Same thing. I need like a freaking socket wrench and like a big hammer to like knock it loose, and then I can fix the whole thing by myself.
Yeah.
So that'll be my next big project. I'm fixing the car, and I'm the wife of the
Alyx,
house.
When does The Walking Dead come back?
This month.
Yeah. What?
Sometime.
Do you know what day?
Stranger Things.
Oh my gosh.
We got a lot this month.
So excited. I'm beyond excited for Stranger Things and The Walking Dead. Oh, it's gonna be a great fall.
I'm gonna tell my story now.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're gonna tell? Sure.
So, let's see. 2011. Were you guys back? You guys were in Chicago, right?
11.
Or were you in
Yes.
Dakotas?
No, we were in Chicago.
Chicago.
So, what?
Couldn't get it out.
Somebody look and tell me what day is the 8th.
Like September or
October
October
8th.
of 2011.
No, of this day. Of
this
this
day.
year.
That's Sunday.
Okay, so in 2011, on technically October 9th, but it was October 8th, Saturday, October 8th, 2011, I was arrested for OWI.
Mm-hmm.
Operating while intoxicated.
So I lived in Fort Wayne. I went to a birthday party in Bluffton and, drinks and everything. And I don't remember what time I left, but I know that I was way too drunk to drive. And I got to a point where I think I was mad, which wasn't hard to do.
No, it wasn't.
And I ended up leaving. And I remember I left so quickly that I wanted to leave and get out before anybody knew I was gone. Because at this point, I was like, I want to go home and go sleep in my bed.
Yeah.
So I leave Bluffton and I'm headed back to Fort Wayne, and it's about a 45-minute drive or so.
Yep.
Way too drunk to be driving, of course. And there was a little town between the two, and I get through that, and I think that I'm driving okay. And see headlights behind me getting kind of close, and I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I know it. I'm done. Lights go up. I'm like,
Were you
oh, boy.
speeding?
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay.
So pull over. I'm like, fuck me. This was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So guy comes up, or officer comes up, and, been drinking tonight? Yes, sir. And I knew I was, screwed, so there was no point in being uncooperative.
Right.
Yeah.
So he gets me out. He's like, well, we got a call that there was a car, weaving a little bit. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe that, because it was 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And even in this little town, unlikely that there's people watching me drive by, because there's nobody on the road.
Yeah.
And so I think he probably saw me and started following me.
Right.
So, and I'm sure I weaved enough even within the lane to justify pulling me over. So I don't really remember a whole lot about the actual stopping, but I do remember that he gave me a field sobriety test, and I do remember telling him, look, we don't really have to do this. I am drunk. I'm admitting it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, well, I appreciate that, but let's just go ahead and do it. So I did it, and I'm sure that I failed.
Yeah.
And then,
do you remember your number?
Oh boy, I think what he ended up getting me for was 0.19.
What's the
I
legal?
don't
0.08 is the legal limit.
Oh my god!
Damn.
Holy cow!
He doesn't take me directly to jail. He takes me to the hospital to get a blood test for a very precise reading.
Yeah.
And I cannot remember the number 0.23 sticks in my head, but I can't remember.
Either way, that's like a quarter of your blood.
No.
No,
It's
BAC.
blood alcohol content is 0.23.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if I was 0.23 or if that may come up later.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna look up what the blood alcohol content means.
So he gives me a blood test, and then he takes me to jail. And he's being super nice. I'm being cooperative.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's no point in getting mad. Plus, I was still a little drunk.
Yeah.
So he takes me to the jail, and, they get me processed. The two, correctional officers, they're fine, and, we're all talking, and it's not like I'm a violent criminal, so they're just always drunk, gotta lock them up.
Yeah.
So, I give them all my personal belongings, but the room, the holding cell they put me in has no bed. Obviously it's 4 walls. 3 of the walls have a bench, and then the 4th wall has the door.
Yeah.
It wasn't like bars, it was a door with a little tiny window. So before they put me in there, they fingerprint me and they take my mug shot and everything. And they put me in the room. And they basically tell me, well, by now it's like probably between 3 and 4, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What was your blood alcohol content?
0.19.
Holy crap, man.
It is
so
almost 3 times the legal limit.
I don't mean to interrupt, but there's this chart that healthstatus.com. Oh my God, what is going on with our dog, Alyx?
She
fine. Keeps sneezing.
Dude, you were like freaking squirrel.
She was sneezing like for the past 5 minutes. Okay, so blood alcohol level percentage. So a 0.03 to 0.12. The effects: your feeling of increased confidence, sense of daring, look flushed or red in the face, trouble with fine actions, and writing.
What's the next one?
0.09 to 0.25. This is what you were at, right? No, you were at a 0.18.
0.19.
Okay.
0.19, yeah. So at this one.
This one doesn't make any sense. Okay. Trouble seeing or focusing, slow reaction, sleepy, stumble often, or lose balance easily.
Okay.
I'm sure that.
And then to a 0.30 is confusion, dizziness, slurred speech, and lack of muscle coordination.
Okay.
So I'm in the holding cell, and they do give me like a placemat, like that you would put on a cot to sleep on.
Yeah. Okay.
And a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one end has a little raise, so it's almost like a pillow.
Yeah.
So they basically tell me, well, you can't leave until you blow a 0.0. I'm like, shit.
Jeez.
So I'm like, all right. So, I try to go to sleep for a little bit. They leave the lights on, so how well can you really sleep,
Yeah.
Right.
Dogs being the mountaineer again. So
I will yell at her later.
I try to sleep. I think they gave me one meal, but it wasn't until like around 11 the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I eat the jail food, which wasn't terrible. It was just like cafeteria food.
What'd you have?
I don't remember.
Oh, it didn't matter.
It didn't.
Okay.
But I eat that, and I think around noon, or maybe right after I ate, they let me blow again to see if I was down.
Mm-hmm.
So blow again it was close, but it wasn't down.
Gosh.
Now again, nobody knows where I am. Like
You didn't get a phone call?
I did not get a phone call yet, and I had to ask, can you let me at least get a number out of my phone? I don't know any numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't really want to call my parents about this.
Yeah.
So finally they let me call, get my phone, get a number. And I believe first I called Cousin Andrew.
Yay.
Yeah.
He didn't answer.
Oh.
So then I called, at the time, my roommate then, Kevin, I called him, and I think I left a message for him, but I believe at the time he was coming home to see his girlfriend, so he was in town. So I said, I think, Kevin, I need you to come bail me out of jail.
Yeah.
Bring X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
So I think it was between 3 and 4 p.m. I finally blew a 0.0.
Gosh.
So at this point, I had been in jail
12
almost
hours?
12 hours.
Yeah.
But nobody was really missing me except my friends who had the party for the birthday.
They're the only ones who cared?
Well, they were the only ones who knew
they were the
I
only ones who
wasn't
knew he
going
was
anywhere.
gone.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have to check in with Kevin,
Right.
because we just do our own thing.
Yeah, right. You're just roommates.
So, Kevin bails me out, but then I actually have to talk to a bondsman.
Yeah.
And I really don't remember, not that because I just don't remember the details with that. So I get out, and my car was, towed. So I think Kevin just takes me home.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be in court on Monday. So I go to court. Well, first call my parents, and they're upset.
Oh, I'm sure.
Which,
Yeah.
rightfully so. I call,
2011.
or I let my one friend know, the friend who had the party. I'm like, dude, I got arrested last night. It wasn't your fault. I left.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yes.
So you were 26?
26.
Okay.
Yep. So I go to court the next day, and I'm like, there's no point in fighting this, really, because I would hope to think first time offense, never had any kind of record. I would go easy on me. Now, I am also in the county, not Allen County, Wells County, much smaller county.
I hear they're strict.
And they were.
Oh.
Ooh.
So I got sentenced with house arrest for 90 days.
I remember you having the anklet.
Yeah.
Yes. And what else was it? I think it was just house arrest. Oh, suspended driver's license for 90 days. And, I kind of told the judge, I'm really sorry. It just was a stupid mistake. It's like, well, I appreciate that. You're still getting everything.
Oh,
So I'm like,
my God.
Thanks. It was just an
He
old
threw
dude.
the book at you, man.
Yeah.
First time offense, because if in Allen County, which is where Fort Wayne is, you don't even, I think you get a suspended driver's license for 90 days, and that's it.
I was gonna say,
They're
it's like
very
a lot
lax
of
here.
people
Because-
don't treat it like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Every weekend there are DUI arrests.
Fort Wayne's the party city.
Yeah.
So
Like, that's all you can do
there's
here.
I'm sure the courts are just overloaded with DUI, offenses. So let me explain get that sentenced. So then they tell me, well, we'll have a deputy come to your house and install the house arrest equipment.
So is it like a metal detector?
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay.
So I'm like,
I'm interested.
okay. So he comes up, and I can still go to work.
Yeah, of course.
So he brings this thing, and he sits it on the table, and then he fits me with my anklet. And he's like, this thing's going to go off, and you have so much amount of time to blow into this little plastic thing so that, it takes your blood alcohol level at that time.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
And
It's
then
random, right?
It's random, and it takes your picture of you doing it so that it knows that it's you.
Oh my God.
He's like, also, if you're in the shower or taking a shit, if you don't get to it, it'll do it again. Don't freak out if you miss one. It will do it again, but you got to get the second one.
Okay.
So, okay.
What if you take a really long?
Well, and that's the other thing. If you need to move the equipment, you have to call the number.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I had it like on a little stand in my bedroom.
But, okay, could you tell them your schedule for work, though?
So you have to send them a work
Okay,
your work
that's,
schedule.
that way it won't go
And
off all your...
If it's going to vary, you have to call them.
Okay.
So I basically got it through work that I was going to work 8 to 5. But a very good friend who worked 7 to 4 is like, I'll pick you up. So I told them, all right, 7 to 5 is my window. But he gets off at 4, and I made it 5 so that if he couldn't take me home, someone else could. So basically I had to call if I was going to be home earlier. So they had to know where I was at all times.
Oh my God.
Monitoring
Wow.
like
Now, keep in
son of a
mind,
bitch.
this is for a first-time offense.
That's
Oh my
ridiculous.
Now,
Well, still, you shouldn't do it.
absolutely. Once a week, I had to go back to Bluffton to basically check in with the house arrest people.
Okay.
And they said, at any time, we can charge you, or we can do a piss test, and that's like, it was like $25 to do the piss test.
They
Like-
force you
Yeah,
to
like,
pay
it's
them
part of
for something they choose you to do.
It's
Yeah.
part of the sentence,
Fuck
basically.
that.
So, that's only part of it. So, the first check-in,
Yeah.
I had to take a piss test.
Of course.
So they are literally nickel and diming the shit
Assholes.
Wow.
out of me. Because the equipment alone was $150 a week.
I remember you telling me when you had it on, I remember you wearing it, and I was sitting on your couch. I was like, what the hell is that? You're like, I'll explain later. And then you told me, and I was like, oh my God.
Is that when you were visiting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were visiting, and Alyx and I, whenever we visited Fort Wayne, we go out and we partied. Every single time. Because we had friends here, and that's what we did. And
Yeah, because we didn't have any friends in Chicago.
Oh, whatever.
I'm
We
just
had
kidding. We came back and we were in our early 20s, and that's what we do. We
Yeah,
hung out to
exactly.
the bar.
It's to the point where Alyx was almost called an alcoholic.
No.
Because every single time this
Everybody
person
thought
saw
I
you.
was because every time I would come into town, I would drink. And I'm like, you know what? I come into town 3 times a year, and that's when I drink.
And that is
a year.
That's your like your vacation, your trip and
Yes,
stuff. And I remember you couldn't go with us,
Yeah.
and you told us why, and it was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
So, $150 a week. Now, the one upside was for every one day that I completed without incident, I got a day free.
Mm-hmm.
So it ended up only being 45 days.
Okay, that's good.
During of which I had to have rides to everywhere.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember back when it was all done, I sent a massive thank you on Facebook.
Yep.
And it was before I knew how to tag, so I just put
Names.
everybody's name, and it was a paragraph of names.
Yeah.
And one of them was Rick, our friend Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
And he was like my chauffeur for a large part of it.
Yeah.
And him and my friend Jay from work, we don't work together anymore.
He was
obviously.
he was lawn and garden, wasn't he?
Yes.
I remember him.
Oh, for a time, yes.
He started with me.
Yeah. And then also Kevin's now wife, Freddie.
Freddie.
All of them drove me in some capacity.
Does Kevin still listen to us?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't talk to him as much because he's in Australia.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
So there's one more thing to this sentence that I got. I had to go to AA classes.
Oh my God.
So, and I know those cost money. I don't remember how much.
Yeah.
But
Do you remember the final cost?
I don't. And
You'd think you'd have that
I
like
know that it was
scribed somewhere.
I'm sure I did it at one time, but I don't remember now what it was. But
Well,
I do remember
let's do the math.
that
No, we don't need to do the math.
Don't do the math because I don't remember every single cost.
Yeah.
Oh, like
We
Just
don't
the
need to.
equipment cost is what I specifically remember.
yeah.
But the class that I had, I think we had to meet twice, but it was like 4 hours each time.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that we all went around and talked about why we were arrested, and that's where I think I'm getting the .23. I think someone else blew a .23 when they were arrested.
That's like near death because a
Yes.
.25 is fatal,
It's-
like practically fatal.
It's up there.
It's pretty bad.
So I do remember thinking, if I didn't have if I could have killed myself, I could have killed somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was very grateful to the officer because who knows what would have happened. I wasn't even on the interstate yet,
Right.
going 70.
Oof.
I was just on a 2-lane highway going 55 or 60.
Right. And since that time, I think the only time we went out was if we already had a DD when we went out with you, or we just drank at your place.
Yeah.
Like
I
that.
mean,
I remember doing that.
I did make the rule after that there was no more drinking while out if I was going to be driving.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. I mean, even if you did, I remember there was this one time, I think it was like a Memorial Day weekend or maybe even 4th of July, something like that. We were sitting out just chilling, and I was drinking. I was getting drunk. Alyx got pretty drunk. It was at your mom's, and Brett showed up, and I remember offering you drink like every 30 minutes. Like, do you want one? You're like, no. I was like, why? I'm driving. Still didn't plug it into my head.
You're drunk.
I never went through that process, so I've never had to deal with the thought process of, well, it's a drink, but still.
So I guess the whole point of this story is that don't do it for one.
Oh, yeah.
If nothing else, because it's not worth the money that it costs. Now, I, again, got caught in a very strict, township or county, I should say. Very strict county. Had I made it across the border into Allen County, I would have got a suspended license for 90 days, and that would have been it. But
Right.
maybe that's why I got caught when I did, is because it kind of changed my lifestyle.
Well, think about it now. Uber is
Sure.
such a popular thing.
Yeah.
And the technology is different. And think
That's
about
what we
it
do now. We
think
just
about
do
it now.
Uber.
Think about it now. Like if you were to have had this happen and then you had to get a ride to work, you would just Uber.
Sure.
It's
And
$5.
That's what we
$6.
see quite a bit when we go out, like when we go out to flashbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's the
as we're
smartest
leaving,
thing.
it's like a line of Ubers picking people up.
And I love it.
Super good idea.
It's the greatest. It's one of the greatest inventions. I mean, taxis have always been a thing, but they've become unionized. That I don't know what went wrong there. So Ubers are just it's your own personal vehicle.
Well, and they're there in a couple seconds too. They're always hanging around the bars.
They
too.
are ready to pick you up. It's awesome. So, do you have anything else to add to that?
I don't think so. I do remember this was kind of fun. So while I was still on probation then for quite a while after my house arrest was done. I believe it was 90 days probation, but the house arrest was done after 45 days. It also could have been 6 months. It might have been 6 months probation. I think it was. Because I do remember I did not go to any place that served alcohol for 6 months.
I know that we were online and played Halo a lot during that time.
But the Monday ritual became Rick would come over and we would go. He would drive us in my car to Wings, etc. We'd order 30 wings of the flavor that we liked. We'd come back to my apartment and see this happened. It had to be 6 months because after football season, we would just start watching. We'd just pick a movie and watch the movie.
That's awesome.
And it was a great time.
Yeah. So let's move to fantasy.
Oh, now that we're talking about football.
Goodness.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Man, Brett.
Much to say.
Brett, you
well, other
just
than
can't
the
get a
fact
win.
that I'm killing it in my other two leagues.
I get that, but in this one, you're 0-4.
I'm the only one who hasn't won, and I cannot get a win.
This close. I got this close to beating Alyx.
He got this close
2 points.
Before
2 points.
Before two of my players played.
I almost beat Alyx. I was so close. I was gonna be so happy.
I
would
by
break the streak.
28 points.
I was gonna be Brock Lesnar to the Taker. I was gonna take you down.
I'm the Undertaker right
Alyx
now.
is undefeated. You're gonna get beat this week.
Is anybody else?
No. Nope.
I'm the only one that's undefeated.
The standing says Alyx is undefeated, and you've never won a game. So
it just goes to show, even if you know football, it doesn't mean anything.
I think it's just a very good beginner's luck.
I think so.
It's just a thing. It's. I don't have much to say. It's just Dalvin Cook is injured. He was the running back of the Vikings. They could have had that game against the Lions, but he got injured, and that was a shitty play.
I will say that with all the controversial things in the NFL, I have not been that jazzed up about watching football.
Really? I watch it all the time.
I did not watch. I watched a little bit of the Red Zone on Sunday, but didn't have my full attention because I was just kind of annoyed with everything.
Yeah. What was your problem with the Red Zone? You
messaged. Rick had the problem with the Red Zone.
What was it?
Just that they weren't showing games.
Were they showing the drama?
They weren't showing the scoring chances like he thought they should have been. I never really had a problem with it. Maybe they do that all the time. I don't know. I never noticed, but Rick had a real problem with it.
Yeah. So there isn't much else to say. My wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers got hit pretty hard.
Oh, that was a Thursday night game.
What was his name again?
Devontae Adams.
Devontae
Adams. Oh my God. He got his mouth
smacked.
popped up in the air. Like he was out before he hit the ground.
Oh man.
They just don't.
Danny Trevathan hit him while he was being tackled
by two people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I'm pretty sure he got suspended for 2 games. So.
Oh, good.
And I'm sure he got fined.
What is up with the head-to-head contact? This is happening a lot now.
And a lot of people have told me though that you don't realize how many injuries there really are until you're in fantasy football.
I told you that.
No,
because Joe
heard
told me that.
There was another 2 people that I'm around.
Alyx is able to talk about football with her coworkers.
I know. I was like, "Oh, did you see this and this and this?" And they're like, "You watch football?
You into football? You want football?" Oh man, let's.
So I've got Cookout and Sproles and Johnson.
Yeah, playing and watching.
Are we done with football?
I'm winning. Now we're done.
Let's talk playing and watching.
Playing and watching. Then we close it out.
Yeah.
You watching anything?
So September 29th, the TGIF shows finally released on Hulu.
Yeah.
So I've started with Step by Step.
Oh, man.
Okay.
And I'm sure it doesn't hold up.
Oh, I like it. It may not, but for a 90s sitcom, I think it does, yeah.
Okay.
But I always liked it. I don't remember critically how well it did. It went for 7 seasons.
That's pretty good for back then.
Exactly. And I think Patrick Duffy, who plays the father, he marries Suzanne Summers.
Mm-hmm.
They both have kids, and they basically become a blended family.
Like the Brady Bunch.
Exactly. And I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
but that, and I did start watching. It's really because I wanted something to watch. I have the Blu-ray seasons of Sons of Anarchy, so I just started watching that again.
It's been a while since I thought about that.
I told myself I'm not watching it again.
Why?
Because I don't like the ending.
You have the same feeling of it going forward that I do of
Breaking Bad. Yes.
Which I know you don't agree with, but
I know, but I don't agree with
Breaking
Sons of
Bad.
Anarchy,
Hold on, let me say something about Breaking Bad. He did not die at the end.
I put so many hours into Sons of Anarchy only to have
so many hours into everything.
Okay, just to I hated the ending.
I get it. It was very similar to Breaking Bad.
I loved the ending of Breaking Bad.
Both of these shows have been off the air for a couple of years now. The main character dies at the end. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry.
You know that Jax does. You don't necessarily know that Walt does.
Well,
I'm pretty
that's
damn
true.
sure he
But
does.
there was a film theory that they said he might not have.
Yes, sure.
So,
I understand.
But the thing is, they portrayed it somewhat, or in the audience's mind.
I am perfectly fine if he did.
Who, Walt?
Yes.
But you're not okay that Jax did.
No.
Because he was self-sacrificing and just arms up towards semi.
I just did not like
don't
it.
live through that.
It justified?
I just did not like the ending. That's not. I don't know what I wanted, but it's like I knew it was coming. It's just like it better not happen. It's happening. Oh my god, and it happened like that.
You realize he did that for his sons, right?
I understand.
Of Anarchy.
I understand that, but I feel like everything was rushed and it was very predictable, and I didn't like it.
Okay.
So
I like the whole entire show, but the ending.
You watching anything else?
No, but I do have a beef with my Xbox.
Go ahead.
So I decided to play through Halo 5 again because I was playing a lot of the.
It's been a minute for me.
Master Chief Collection. I thought I only played through it once. Yeah, it's a bad story, but game mechanics wise, it's fine. It looks great. Mm-hmm. So I uninstalled it a long time ago. So I went to reinstall it. First of all, it's
how many updates?
98 gigs.
I don't remember it being that big.
God.
It was only 65 when it released, but with all the extra crap, 98 gigs, which takes me a long time.
A very long time.
So then I get it up. I go through the first few missions, no problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to just save somewhere in the middle of a mission and exit. Go back to it. It's all glitchy. There's no gun. And you can see, if you turn side to side, you can see parts of him all jacked up.
Did you take any video or...
No.
You should have.
Well, I was like, this is bullshit. So I thought, well, maybe it's just this mission. So I go to load a previous one, same thing. So I'm like, fuck.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, because it's the only time I've ever had a glitchy problem with a downloadable game, a game that I've downloaded.
Right.
So I uninstalled it and I'm reinstalling it to see.
That's like another day.
Yeah.
Well, yes, to see if I can, salvage it.
Yeah. But
I'm just every whip stitch going and playing through Rise of the Tomb Raider again, which is not as good as the 2013.
It's not.
I've never played it. I wonder, since Alyx... Alyx, you're going through BioShock? Maybe I should go through Tomb Raider.
I just don't
wait, that's right. You've never played it.
I've never played both of them.
I just don't like the setting.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Isn't it a winter setting?
Yeah.
I hate winter levels on everything.
Yeah.
Winter levels on any game.
It's made very well.
If they could just not do that, I'd be so happy. Water levels too. All the Mario water levels,
Josh,
and what?
All of BioShock is in underwater.
But you're not swimming. You're not swimming.
There's leaks.
Parts.
There's leaks.
In BioShock 2, you're not swimming. You are walking.
But you're
walking through puddles.
No. You do go outside.
In BioShock 2, you leave Rapture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. I mean, but it's you're not swimming and there's no combat.
Okay.
Yeah.
But mechanically, you're right. Rise of the Tomb Raider is great.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I like jungle, whatever.
The first one was amazing.
Mountains, warm climate kind of stuff.
Well, it's a winter. The second one's like the winter game, so it's like, I don't like like the setting, I think, because I don't like winter. I don't like things.
You hate the cold.
I hate the cold. I've got socks on
Plus,
right now.
she's like, she has to swim underwater in 30-degree water,
Yeah.
you know?
Alex, you know what you should do?
It's a video game, okay.
What?
You should start wearing like the craziest socks on our podcast and just like show them off every week.
But you
That's-
guys don't see my socks.
That's
You'd be
random.
like, hey, look at my socks this week.
What are you playing and watching?
Well, I'm going to start with watching. Decided to go back to The Office.
Yes, we did. And
Nice.
we're watching it like it's... What is this? Like the 5th time we've watched The Office?
Yes, and I love
It's
it.
amazing. It's amazing.
You and cousin Andrew could have an aftercast just about The Office.
Do you not like The Office?
I like it, but I haven't watched it nearly as many times as y'all.
It's-
And I've never finished it.
It's what's on that you can just... It's kind of like, with our Independence Day conversation where Independence Day is on TV and you're like, great,
Just
I have to watch the
Drop
rest of it.
everything and watch it.
That's the way The Office is. Like,
Yeah.
you have to watch it.
Oh, man.
I love it.
It's such a great show.
Sorry,
Alex.
It's still
Alex,
cringeworthy, too.
I'm on season 4.
You've already gone to season 4?
I'll go back to the good ones in season 3.
And we started it by not watching it from the first episode. We watched it at the beginning of...
Season 2.
Season 2.
I can't watch season
The
1.
Dundies.
The season 1, just the entirety of it.
It's only 6 episodes.
I know.
I know,
I
but
can't
it's
do it.
It's difficult. It's
It is
very
the
difficult. And
worst.
we already know it, so we don't have to watch it.
I don't need to remember that. I'll just keep that out of my memory.
But I'm at the part where what's his face from the other branch walks in.
Josh?
No.
Are you talking about?
Anger management guy.
Oh,
Andy?
Andy.
Andy. When Andy comes,
I was-
and they merge.
Yes, yes.
I was thinking
And he
Ed
puts
Helms.
the hole through the wall.
I like
Let's go to anger management class.
the season 2 episode sexual harassment because
Oh yeah.
Michael's talking about how some former employee was hot and Kevin's like, she wasn't that hot. And he's like, yes, she was. Damn it, Kevin.
There was, the one that I remember we just watched. It was Phyllis's bachelorette party, and they're talking about getting strippers. And Angela's like, "There's no way I'm having a man strip off his clothes." And immediately Meredith is just like, "Shut up, Angela!"
I remember that.
It was like the best. I was like, I love that because Meredith is like, she wants
She's
to get
the slut.
and she's not even like a good looking slut.
No, but she is.
Is there such thing as a good looking slut?
I don't know.
As far as watching anything else, Alex and I decided to watch Unbreakable.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since we watched that,
The
and
thing
it is.
It was a movie that he
just
put in
as
when I was
good.
trying to go to sleep,
I
and that is a
can't,
movie you can't do.
I can't talk about that movie
Why?
because he breaks his bones and that is, I can't.
Is
handle
that a thing?
I can't.
that
handle
bothers
it.
you?
Can't do it.
Alex.
So you can't watch the movie.
Alex.
No.
Have you seen the movie?
Yes.
Okay, then that's
Then
all
he
you
starts
need.
breaking his. He falls down the stairs and breaks everything, and I like puke on the table.
Did you see Split?
No,
I don't think you did.
Oh.
I saw Get Out. I didn't see Split.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that has nothing to do with it, but you need to see Split.
It does have the cover is almost.
They're pretty
close.
similar. Yeah, they are. That's pretty true. Moving on from that, what?
They're not.
Have you seen the poster for Get Out?
I wasn't talking about the poster. I was talking about the movies.
Oh, well, they're two different people. You okay, Brett?
It was funny because she's right, but it still made sense to me.
Okay.
Alex, I just bought our tickets, by the way.
Oh, that's okay. Well, we can talk about that
front
real
and
quick.
center. Yeah, Brett, what's your deal? Okay, 2.5 hours to
I
3
never-
hours.
That was just a dumb argument.
Dude, it was. Why were you upset about
I
that?
wasn't
Hey,
upset.
Nobody knows what you guys are talking about. by the
Okay,
way.
so Brett thinks that 2.5
No,
hours is
you
the
have
same
to
thing as
ask-
3
you have
hours.
to present it the way it was presented.
Okay, so
You said,
I said-
Alex, do you want to sit in a comfortable seats or go for affordability? And what did you say?
I want comfortable seats.
Because why?
Especially for a 3-hour movie.
So I said, what do you mean? You go to the movies anytime you're going to be there for 3 hours.
and my argument was it's already
this is longer than 3 hours.
It's
then.
already a 3-hour movie plus the 30 minutes it is for the previews plus sitting there before the previews are even on. So you're there for like 4 hours. That's an extra hour that I want to sit
argument
down.
was you're not going to any movie theater for less than 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Which
Okay,
I'm
so
fine
that's
with.
different than 3 hours.
But it's pretty close.
Do you want to? Okay, 30 minutes to 40 minutes is a little different than getting out of the seat in 2 hours and 20 minutes than 3 hours.
Once you're sitting in a chair for 2.5, what difference does it make if it's in 3 then?
Would you want to sit there longer?
I'm struggling at 2.5, so I do not want that extra half an hour on my butt. I don't sit. This is a struggle.
But you were saying, what's the difference?
I agree. This chair hurts my ass.
This is not a bad chair.
It is a bad chair.
No.
Right?
It's not that bad, but it's...
Would you rather be sitting on those freaking wooden chairs downstairs that breaks because of our fat asses?
My fat ass.
Hey, I sat on one the other day and it about went down.
Yeah, he got on it.
I was like, this might be the chair. I don't know.
So let me ask you this, just to close it all off. How long does a movie have to be, or how short,
comfortably,
to sit in a not comfortable chair?
An hour and a half.
There's no movie in the world you're going to go see for an hour and a half.
A Disney
and Pixar
not
movie.
anymore.
Okay, you want me to look at? Okay, I'm gonna look up.
No.
I want to look up a movie. Okay, what's a movie you think's an hour and a half long?
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, it's definitely an hour and a half long.
And if you go on time, you're looking. How long? Do you remember how long the trailers were for it? There was a good
I don't even remember the trailers.
There was a good 30 minutes of trailers because me and Jake were thinking, damn, there's a lot of trailers.
There was a lot.
I don't remember.
I'd say between 20 and 30 minutes. Yeah.
I'd say it was.
And they were long trailers.
Yeah.
They were like the big long trailer, like not the sneak peek. It was.
I think
long.
you have, and that's if they start it at the time that it says it's going to start.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I should say this first. If you go to watch a movie, you got to add a good 20 to 30 minutes of runtime or of extra time.
So we're going to be at the theater for at least. We're not good. Okay, so we're going to go see Blade Runner. It's coming out on Friday. We're seeing it on Sunday. The time that it's showing is 3:35 p.m. That's where we're going. That's when we're going.
Oh, it's a good time.
You won't get out till 6.
7.
Probably 7.
At least 7.
You think?
It's a 3-hour movie already, so that's 6:30.
Yeah.
So we're not getting out till 7.
Oh my god.
We're gonna see the sun, and we're gonna come back out, and it's gonna be like this.
Pretty much.
It's gonna be crazy.
It better be worth it because IGN gave it
almost a 10.
A 9.7.
9.7.
Well, I'm glad that a kind of like a remake is.
It's not a remake. This is a sequel.
This is a sequel.
Okay, well, it's in a reboot in a way.
But it said it's everything that everyone wanted and more. Like
Harrison
it was
Ford's
amazing.
in it. How is it a reboot?
I'm just saying, okay, they're bringing back something from 20 years ago.
Alex got a little excited.
They're bringing back something from 20 years ago, and it's good.
Okay, I'm going to finish off our playing and watching here. We're getting close, I know. Right?
We're at 116.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're okay.
You okay? You drink some water.
I got a tickle.
What?
Say what you're going to say.
Say what you need to say. Sorry, Alex. What else were we watching? Anything else?
South Park.
South Park. We forgot about that because this one was it wasn't the best.
It pretty much sums up the way that the internet drama works.
Okay. So
everybody has to have an issue and they have to put it out there and they have to have a legit reason to have drama.
Have you heard of 23andMe?
No.
That is a DNA testing that you can do for like $100 or so.
It's a mouth swab.
It's a mouth swab, and it tells you your DNA, like what heritage you are. I'm going to touch on that after we're done with this. And this entire episode was about
Christopher Columbus. And the kid's not getting Christopher Columbus Day off because he was not a good person. Somebody, Randy on the show, Randy argued that they don't need to be celebrating a day because of Christopher Columbus doing this and this and this and this.
He was not a good person.
Yeah, all the bad stuff. So they took away that day off of school. Well, Cartman gets upset and and makes up a rhyme that says like Christopher Columbus. How does the rhyme go?
Gosh.
Sailed the ocean blue so we could have one day off of school or something like
that. Was pretty close. I think that might have been it.
It was really funny. So but he's arguing like there's no like the kids are freaking out that they're not going to have a Monday off because that's what you do when you're a kid. You're like, they can't take away our day off. So they make it a really big deal. Well, and then so Randy's like in the news and he's like rioting and making these protests about taking away Columbus Day for everybody. So that way we don't like he's tearing down statues of Christopher Columbus. He gives Kyle or is it Stan's dad? It's Stan's dad, isn't it?
Who?
Randy?
Randy Stan's dad.
Yeah, so he hands Stan a phone book,
God
and he's like, we have to call everybody and tell people. So he calls up this one guy who's in Columbus, Ohio, and he's like, hi, this is blah, 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 blah. Do you live in Columbus? I see that you live in Columbus, Ohio. And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, fuck you. So like, don't you know what Columbus and blah, blah, blah. How could you live in such a city called like, it's,
yeah,
like, it's really funny how far he gets into this.
So he was talking about being a victim and all this stuff.
So
thinking that he had Native American in him, so he wanted to get his DNA tested, but he wasn't sure.
He wasn't sure if he had Native American in him.
He makes out with a Native American man
right before the
mouth swab. And so this man falls in love with him, and it's like a fight, like back and forth. And then it's like, well, next we're going to have to test something. I think it was like a fecal sample.
It was
so he's like, give me 5 minutes.
I don't remember.
You know what he's going to do.
Yeah, I know. It was funny. So what ended up happening is like the
here it is, Alex. In 1492, Columbus got us all the day off of school. With just 3 ships, he sailed over so we could have some me time in October.
Yes, that's what he said. But it was a good rhyme. So the drama about it was pretty much saying, you can't say anything offensive to me. Like, Josh, I could be like, Josh, you have green eyes. And be like, that's offensive because
Did you just assume my eye color?
Because I'm Polish or something. I don't know. So it gives you a reason to cause drama. You're like, you're bashing my heritage or whatever. Because that's what people do. Like, they're just trying to find ways to start shit. But it talks about it shows you how stupid these real arguments are on the internet.
Yeah. Sure.
But they make it funny.
So
because that's what South Park does.
Because we're talking about 23andMe, I got asked today if I have Asian heritage. Do I look Asian?
No.
He said my eyes look Asian. Do I have squinty eyes?
No.
It might be. I don't know. I don't think so.
It was the weirdest question. I was like, huh? Like, you look like you have Asian heritage. No, maybe. I've always wanted to get my DNA tested.
I don't know. I'd like to.
I just want to see where I'm from. Yeah. You probably have the most boring DNA test. You're probably just from England. You asked where you're...
I've asked my grandmother for history. I have a lot of German and Polish and English. I have like some in English heritage in me.
Yeah.
That's just where my ancestors came from. But it'd be fun to see like the whole shebang.
Yeah.
From both sides of the family.
I know I have Native American in me.
Yes. I know.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Well, hold on. We're not done.
We're not?
We haven't even talked about playing yet.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so, okay, well, that's it for, I think, watching here.
Yeah. The only other thing was we played some Destiny, too.
We played Destiny.
Fucking Nightfall.
Yeah, we played the Nightfall, and a lot of people that play Destiny, too, they know what the Nightfall is. So, it's like a weekly big challenge. Is what it is, and we're only playing Destiny like once a week right now. For now.
Oh man, I love this stand now.
Yeah,
look at this, Brett.
I see it.
I'm in love with this.
So the Nightfall is pretty much like you've got like weekly strikes and weekly missions and everything else. So it's like you're playing on like normal mode.
Yeah.
Then you take Nightfall and you don't have like your level built up enough, and we have it just like at the bar to be able to play in the Nightfall, and we get in there and we play the same thing that we just played on pretty much easy mode.
You okay,
we played
Brett?
this mission, and it's like
I think you've got like an allergic reaction going on.
Oh, I was holding back a sneeze.
Oh, you've been scratching.
Would you stop interrupting?
Yes. So we play this mission from easy to expert.
Angry.
So it's like I was thinking like I would stop shooting these guys because I thought it would take 3 hits from the gun that I just shot them with in the last mission, and now it's taking like my whole entire clip to take them out. And like we have a timer. Like you have a timer. You have
22 minutes.
22 minutes to complete this mission. We got to. Did we even get to the end?
No.
We didn't even get to the end in 22 minutes. And beforehand, we had completed this mission in probably 10.
Yeah. It was pretty sad.
So it's like, geez, it's like we're finally back to having I like it because it's a challenge, but it pissed me off.
Yeah.
It gets us yelling at each other. You go over there and you do this, and I'm dead again. Alyx, come revive me.
Yeah. It's we gotta get higher up. We gotta get higher level.
We got it.
So anything else to add? We good? Good to go?
I haven't played it. I worked on my costume this week.
Yeah, and then when are you going to announce that? The
I
week of?
I will announce what I am the week of. The only hint I'm giving is that I am doing another video game character this year.
Are you going, Brett?
Where?
To
our Halloween party.
If I do, I probably won't dress
Just wear
up.
that.
Wear my Punisher shirt.
Yeah.
He was already the Punisher.
That's right. You already did that. You can't do it.
You could be Dwight. Dude, you seriously could do it.
I don't wear costumes anymore.
You wear a yellow shirt and a tie and some brown slacks.
Yeah.
I don't have a yellow shirt or a tie.
Go to Goodwill.
Yeah, Goodwill.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are you saying I can't come if I don't wear a costume?
This is costume required.
It's costume required.
That's bullshit.
No, it's not.
Everybody wears
Everyone's going to be
You know
there.
what? I
You're going to
don't
be the
wanna go
fucker
now
that's just
so
going to be
that
sitting there with no
because
costume.
I'm not going to go just because I don't want to wear a costume now.
See now what she did?
I don't care.
Oh. Wow.
I asked if he was going to go. He's not going to wear a costume. Fuck it.
Fuck both of you. I'm going to have a big party without both of you.
Well, I'm going.
Ooh.
I'm going to look fantastic. What?
I don't know. I'm done. Anyways,
Have you announced yours?
No.
No.
Are you not going to?
Yeah, I'm going to be... No, wait.
Does it have to do with Rick and Morty?
I don't know.
That means yes.
No.
Or yes.
Oh, no.
She's smiling like, I know what that smile means.
That means she's smiling.
Bullshit.
Okay, we got to go.
I know more than... I know you guys better than you think I do.
Well, at least we wear costumes, Brett.
I guess so.
There's people that are going to be there that are older than you that are going to wear costumes.
Good.
What does that mean?
Happy to...
Age is not a fucking thing.
I didn't say it was. I never brought up age.
You always do. You always
I
say I'm
didn't
too
this
old.
time.
I did because I figured it. You would. Alex is out. All right.
It's because we're arguing.
T-shirt Tuesday. So,
All right.
T-shirt Tuesday, gents and ladies. Head on over to our Twitter page at PTOUnlimited. On the top pinned post, you will see our T-shirt Tuesday giveaway. It's actually T-shirt Wednesday because I'm dumb. I already announced this on the precast. I forgot, but then there's two people who could have reminded me, and there's also the audience. So, hey, what about T-shirt Tuesday? But whatevs.
Way to blame everybody.
Hey, everybody! I blamed myself first, so it's my own fault. Head on over there, and all you have to do is follow us on Twitter, retweet the tweet using hashtag PTO giveaway, and like the post for a chance to win our T-shirt. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the thing like right there. Not there, over there. So without further ado, guys, it is time to plug it in. So if you're listening to us, there are other apps you can find us on as well. We are on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, Blueberry, TuneIn, Satchel, the Xbox One podcast app, Google Play Music, and Podbean. And we thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing to everything that we do. We've gotten some new subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
We got some followers on SoundCloud, and I think our T-shirt Wednesday giveaway has already gone off without a hitch. So we got quite a few retweets and likes and stuff.
It was popping up.
It went bang. So we thank you guys for doing that. And every Monday we bring out our YouTube if you want to watch us and see us fight and stuff. That's always great. If you want to catch us on Exploded Radio, we are there every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern. That's when you can catch our most recent podcast on their website on exploded.com, or you can check out their TuneIn app, and they're on there as well. You can listen to us if you miss us here. It doesn't matter. You check us. We have a lot of platforms we're on. You will find us.
Google.
Google's is a thing. That's true. I wonder what our top Google search is. Like if you search us, like I wonder what we are. If you want to follow us on any of our social media apps, we are on Facebook, which is facebook.com/PTOUnlimited. Instagram is PTOUnlimited_podcast. We're also on Twitter, which is at PTOUnlimited. If you want to catch us live on those social media apps, we are there Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we do our precast meeting, where we talk about what we're going to talk about before we talk about it. You can chime in and give us topics. We go for that, and we love it because you're the listener. We want to know what you want to hear and our opinions on it.
I'm still holding out hope that we'll get enough to do a Q&A show someday.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. If you guys have any questions, I'm not ignoring you, Patrick. You have emailed us the past couple weeks. I do read those. I see them. I just get so busy that I can't respond. But thank you for that. And that's he emails us.
Good. Well, I'd like to see those.
Just like that, if you want to email us and talk about things that we talk about to us, email us at ptounlimited@gmail.com. If you ever want to follow me on Twitter, I am at Lemke619.
Brett_Wings.
Q_Kitty.
Let's get out of here before we argue again.
On my way over here, I was getting off the interstate.
How much were you speeding?
Maple Crest. I wasn't speeding.
Oh, you made it on time.
I was on the ramp getting ready to merge to the left, and two cars in front of me almost comes to a stop because they don't know how to merge. And I was thinking, because I'm like, get out of the road.
Get the hell out. What?
I just wanted to make a quick announcement, and because I know we missed it last week because it was actually on September 30th, but happy International Podcast Day to all of our fellow podcasters. Thank you for sharing and getting our name out there, and we'll continue to do the same.
Yes, thank you very much. We're gaining a following, and we love it.
Thank you.
We love it.
And pretty much, if you listen to us, check out the podcasts that follow us back on Twitter.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's part of International Podcast Day, is getting everyone else out there.
Yep.
Join the community. And if you're new to the podcast community, congratulations and welcome to our Pattern family.
Yay! So, without further ado, let's go before Brett and I fight again. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
What the fuck?